Blessings and peace, y'all. Here with another chapter of True to the Game by Teri Woods. The Drop-Off. For the rest of the night, they talked about past relationships. Quadir confessed to seeing Sherelle, but basically explained why the relationship was over. He was 25, no kids, graduated from college with a bachelor's in psychology, grew up in a fucked up part of North Philly, and was poor until his pop started running street numbers and robbing banks. His dad opened up a little store, and from there, he bought a few properties and basically paid his bills on time and established a solid line of credit. Quadir was a lot like his father. He wanted to get paid and be legit one day. Quadir grew up without seeing a real Christmas. He had seen plenty of hard times, but his family made sure he got his education. Quadir heard the same speech over and over again. You gonna go to school, you hear me? You gonna go and you gonna learn. You know why? Just because the white man don't want you to. Over and over, that was all Quadir heard. If black people didn't go to school, they would always be left behind. That's how it all started. His father told him the black children picked cotton and worked the fields while the white children went to school. Niggas didn't know shit. They don't know shit today because they was brainwashed 400 years ago, son. Remember that. His father would go on and on. But what his dad had preached to him all those years made him a very positive individual. The substance Quadir was filled with set him aside from other brothers who were out there, especially those who hadn't even finished high school. Quadir was an intellectual. He had made it through illegal means, through the drug game. After college, and supposedly studying to be a dentist, he often wondered how he got caught up in the game. He never wanted it for himself. He had no idea that he would turn out to be one of the largest drug dealers in the city. But once he got into the game, there was no turning back. This was not his destination. He was only supposed to pay for school and become a dentist. Hard times hit at home. Pops was getting old with no retirement fund. The streets were calling, and Quadir answered. Hard times led him to this life. And even with the money, times were still hard, with all the death, drug wars, and jealousy. It was a vicious game, and a vicious circle to be caught in. The money came so easy, and his lifestyle became so large. To stop even with the money he had saved would not afford him the extravagant lifestyle he was accustomed to. The more money he made, the more consequences he faced. For every action, there's a reaction. He never stopped to look at those consequences, just as the people who used drugs never thought about the consequences of what they were doing. Quadir was relieved when their flight landed. Rasan was at the airport waiting for him by the baggage area. They all exited the airport and went straight to the car. Rasan and Quadir were busy talking about all the events that took place while he was out of town. Gina just wanted to get back to her house and make sure everything was still there. She knew her neighborhood and she knew the people in her neighborhood. Most of them were no good, people gone bad. Crackheads bugging for a hit of crack, belittling themselves. Most were penny ante thieves or just fiends doing literally anything to get high. Then you had your neighborhood drug pushers or other lunatics with 40s in one hand and guns in the other, trying to be men. The rest were either elderly or the harmless, and they made up a very small percentage. Quadir interrupted her thoughts. Gina, I'm gonna drop you off. She really didn't want to be dropped off. She just wanted to drop her things off and stay with him. There was a big difference. When they pulled up on the block, everything looked the same. Trash was all over the place. The Vietnamese people were on the corner barbecuing on the sidewalk as usual. Little kids were playing in the street, and everyone was sitting on their porches being nosy and talking about everyone they could. Quadir and Gina got out the car. Rasan got her luggage from out the trunk, then hopped in the front seat, tilting the chair backward as he played with the CD player. Quadir walked her up the porch to her door. When are you coming back? Asked Gina, knowing that she should have just played like it didn't make a difference. I don't know. I got a lot to catch up on. I'll call you later tonight, though. A feeling of frustration suddenly covered Gina like a blanket. What does that mean, I'll call you later? She said, unlocking her door. It means I'll call you later. If I can stop back over here tonight, I will. If I can't, I'll see you tomorrow. Gina, I really don't think you understand what is going on. I got shit to take care of. You can understand that, right? I can understand that, Quadir. It's just that I want to be with you. Baby, we will be together. Let me go so I can take care of some things, he said. Gina just looked at him as if she couldn't believe he was leaving her. As she opened the door, he pulled her close to him and kissed her, lasting only a few seconds, feeling like an eternity. As Quadir let her go, he winked and smiled. "I'll call you later." "Bye." And he was gone. Gina listened to her answering machine while she started to unpack her bags. Bria, Sabrina, Shay, Kim, Bridget, Sheila, Miss Bowden, Guy Git, Gary, Tracy, Landa, Barry, Brian, Rome, a bill collector, and of course Jamal had all called. Jamal, however, had called at least 15 times. Gina called Miss Bowden. Her message seemed urgent. At first she couldn't believe what she was hearing. Her heart stopped, and tears welled up in her eyes. Gina sat on the bed in a state of disbelief, only finding its truth in Miss Bowden's voice. Why? How? When? And where popped in Gina's mind. Miss Bowden calmly told Gina the story as it had been told to her by the police. "I don't know what I'm gonna do without that child here," Miss Bowden said, sounding heartbroken. Gina couldn't help but feel sorrow. She was so hurt. She couldn't speak. Miss Bowden, choking back her grief, told Gina of the events she knew surrounding Sahira's death and the funeral, which was in 3 days. Gina hung up the phone and sat in complete silence as tears fell down her cheeks, reminiscing about the years she and Sahira spent together, from playing with Barbie dolls and getting sprayed by fire hydrants, graduating from high school, to double dating and sharing their experiences with each other. They had always been best friends. For the rest of the evening, and until Gina fell asleep, she thought of Sahira, wishing she could tell her about Quadir. She wanted to call her so bad, but she wouldn't be there. The only things that would be there were priceless memories. The days to follow were rough. Gina didn't eat, nor did she sleep. Not only was she in mourning for her best friend, but also in mourning for Quadir. She hadn't heard from him since he dropped her off at home. Now it seemed as if he disappeared. He said he'd call, she kept telling herself. It was a horrible feeling of anticipation. Maybe I should call him. She had no idea where she put his number the night she had met him in New York. Reminiscing about the fabulous time she had in the Bahamas only made it worse. The phone rang and she ran to answer, just knowing it was Quadir. But the voice on the other end would only say, "Where you been?" "Who is this?" she asked. "Oh, now you don't know my voice." Suddenly, she did know the voice. It was Jamal. Figures he'd be calling. Damn, she wanted Quadir. Gina was so disappointed that she couldn't hold the simplest of conversations. "Jamal, what is it? Why are you calling my house this late?" "Oh, it's like that now?" "Yeah, it's like that." "You a fucking trip. You ain't shit. You lucky I don't come over there and kick your ass." Her slow simmer erupted, her mouth so tight in anger she could barely speak. "I do not have time for you. You are beneath me," she told him as she hung up the phone. A few seconds later, it rang again. "What?" "Well, damn, bitch. Fuck you too," he said as Gina hung up the phone on him again. When it rang a third time, she said, "Hello?" One more time, praying it wasn't Jamal. "Yo, what's up?" said the girl on the other line. "Hi, Kim. What's up?" "Nothing. Chillin'. What's up with you?" "Nothing. I just got back from the Bahamas." "You hear about Sahira and Winston in that shootout?" Kim asked. "Yeah, and I'm real fucked up about it." "I know you are. As tight as y'all was?" Kim said. Her family is real hurt about it. "Who you was in Bahamas with? Jamal?" "No, I went with Quadir. You know him?" "Quadir from down North Philly?" asked Kim. "I know him. Everybody knows him. I heard he got all the young girls strung." "What do you mean?" "What I said. Quadir ain't nothing but a whore. He's good for a couple dollars, though." "He is?" asked Gina, not seeing her baby boo like that at all. "Seriously, though, the nigga is no joke. Everybody trying to see him." "Who?" "Everybody. Everybody is trying to see him. What part of the breakdown don't you understand?" At that moment, Gina's heart sank. No wonder his ass hadn't called back. After pausing, Kim continued on. So what? You done kicked Jamal to the curb now that you fucking with Quadir? Gina didn't know where she was coming from. It's just not gonna work out. Shit is over. I can't explain it. Did you have a good time in the Bahamas? It was so blue, Gina said completely changing her tone. How'd you get there? We flew over. Gina was loving it. I wanna go away. So, who are you messing with? Asked Gina, figuring she was gonna say Jamal. Who aren't I messing with? Asked Kim right back, laughing at the question. Shit, the man I want is nowhere to be found. Well, maybe you'll find him. The ones you want are never the ones who want you. So true, Gina said, thinking of Quadir. I just don't understand why you and Jamal didn't work out. Well, damn, why? Is you trying to? I'm saying, Gina, Jamal gave you the world. He did everything. Shit, all those women Quadir got, I would have stayed right there with Jamal. All what woman? Gina felt her heart sink, and it was sinking fast. All the women he got. The man is a millionaire. Quad shit is blue. Gina felt as if she had to defend herself. Well, he took me to the Bahamas. You in there? I'm not saying you're not. All I'm saying is that a nigga like Quadir will be in the Bahamas next week with somebody else. At least with Jamal, you had a motherfucker who came home every night and gave you whatever you wanted. You must not want a brother who's gonna treat you right, said Kim. Gina had just about enough of the Jamal cheering section. Kim had fucked up her night with the bullshit about Quadir. Why am I telling this bitch my business? Thought Gina. It wasn't like her and Kim rolled on a regular. Usually she would call about a party or the 411. It was time to check her. Damn, you got the motherfucker on three-way? You acting like he's the man. If you want him, go be the fuck with him. Don't try to tell me how to run mines. Kim had heard what she was waiting for. Gina, you don't have to be getting smart. Bitch, you called my house with this bullshit. My best friend had been killed. Just leave me alone, Kim. I gotta go. Kim wasn't trying to start nothing, being as though Gina wasn't the one to have a fight over a man. She just wanted to know what was up with Jamal. Kim tried to cover up the shit as best she could. You going to the funeral? Yeah, I'll be there. Gina, look, I hope shit goes the way you want it between you and Quadir. And I'm sorry about Sahara, okay? I can't tell. Instead of calling me with some concern, you calling me about Jamal. Look, I gotta go. There's someone at my door. Gina said, happy to slam the phone down, hoping Jamal kicked her ass too. The next day, it was afternoon by the time Gina awoke. Sahara's funeral was at sundown. The entire day was ruined from the time it began, greeted by Mother Nature's gift. Why must it be this way? It was her best friend's funeral, and she had nothing to wear. Quadir still hadn't called. What could be worse? It had been 3 long drenching days without hearing from him. Gina was a mess, thinking inevitable. He was only after one thing, and now that he got it, he's gone. The ringing of the phone could be heard in every room of the apartment, and Gina picked up the nearest receiver. Because she expected trouble, she addressed it. Jamal, don't you call this motherfucker no more. Slamming down the phone made her feel even better. Jamal didn't even get a chance to say nothing. The phone rang again. What? What are you fronting for? Some nigga in the house? He asked. Jamal, leave me the fuck alone. I don't feel like you today. Damn. I just called to see if you wanted to use the Cadillac to go to Sahara's funeral or if you wanted me to go with you, said Jamal. Jamal, please. You couldn't stand Sahara. How were you going to her funeral? Why is there so much negativity with you? You don't sound happy, said Jamal. I would be if you would leave me the fuck alone. See? Every time you try to be nice to people, they just don't appreciate it, Jamal said. You're missing the point. I hope she haunts your black ass. Haunt shit, Jamal said. What, you trying to root me now? Goodbye, Gina said, hanging up the phone, leaving Jamal convinced she had done something. Immediately, she called her grandmother. Guy Get had a house full of grandchildren and was attempting to brush Gina off the phone when Gina told her about Sahara. Guy Get was sorry to hear about her friend. She knew the streets wasn't no place to be. She raised 6 children in the streets. Now she was trying to raise her grandchildren out of the streets. Guy Get was really sorry to hear Gina was going to her best friend's funeral. Don't wear nothing bright like yellow or orange, and don't wear nothing too short. I won't. I'm so nervous about this funeral, said Gina. Well, baby, the good Lord has reasons for everything. Wasn't no one more closer to her than you? Maybe God is trying to tell you something. Gina, you know these things. You live to die, said Guy Get. Gina stared at her phone. What? I said you live to die. When you're born into this world, the only thing you're promised is that one day you're gonna die. So you're supposed to do the best you can. You're never coming back once you're gone. If you're good, then your soul will rest in peace. If you raise hell like you do half the time, well, then you're gonna have problems. Guy Get, stop. Stop nothing. But I'm glad you're home, baby. Me too. But Guy Get, it was so beautiful there. I could have stayed forever. Well, at least he didn't kill your ass and hide you in some bushes. Guy Get. Well, what do you call it when you meet a man one day and is off on some fancy getaway to the Bahamas? Did you sleep with him? I gotta go, said Gina, getting ready to hang up the phone. Have you heard from him since you've been back? Gina didn't want to answer that question. If she told the truth, Guy Get would disapprove. Then she would preach the same long, drawn-out sermon about being a lady, not a whore. She even had some old Ray Charles song about every time she went in a nightclub, the whole band knew her name, which she used as a metaphor. Yes, I've heard from him. Gina felt her heart sink as she lied to her grandmother. Guy Get, I have to go. Well, don't get mad with me. You coming down later? I'm cooking, so you might as well come and get some dinner. Besides, I want to see you for running off like that. Guy Get, I am grown. I can run to wherever I want to. Baby, you can't never run from home. Believe that. I am not a baby, said Gina. Yes, you are. You're my baby, so just run your ass over here after that funeral and get some dinner and stop being so fussy. Gina hung up the phone and went over to her dresser. She felt twisted inside, confused about Quadir, depressed and saddened about Sahara, and mad that Jamal would not stop calling her. She pulled out a knot of money from her dresser drawer. She had won $1,800 in the Bahamas and Quad threw her money here and there, but she never spent it all. She just told him that she did. Why hasn't he called? She thought to herself. Searching her dresser drawers for his phone number, she looked at all the places she thought she might have put it. Hell, it had been more than a week, and with all the weed she had smoked since then, figuring out where she put his number was highly unlikely. Damn, where could it be? She searched around the room to no avail. She took a shower and got dressed. Still searching for Quadir's number, she rummaged through the kitchen. She wanted to call him so bad. She didn't know what to do. Why hasn't he called? Maybe he isn't going to call, she thought to herself. Maybe Guy Get was right. Maybe I should have gone to Bahamas with Maybe I shouldn't have gone to the Bahamas with him. Maybe Kim was right. Maybe I should have stayed with Jamal. Not. Stay tuned for the next chapter of True to the Game. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Peace.